أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه وأمينه على وحيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. وبعد. This week is the second week of the new year, and whenever the new year, the Hijri year comes, for sure, the memory of the Hijrah comes, for sure. We will not be talking history today about the Hijrah, but we will talk about the Hijrah from another aspect for us. Not the Hijrah which happened more than 1436 years ago. This year is 1446. Of Hijrah. And so 1446 years ago, a historical incident took place. We will not go through the details of the history which happened, but actually we will talk about us living the memory of the Hijrah and living with the spirit of the Hijrah. Whenever the Hijrah is mentioned, specific time is mentioned, specific people are mentioned. But actually this has gone. Specific time, at the time when specific people, the people of Mecca, the Muslims in Mecca were ordered to leave Mecca to another haven, another abode, another place where they can freely practice their deen. And it was a very specific, for specific people. Not every Muslim in the Arabia was asked to leave his town, but those who used to live in Mecca. So the Muslims who used to be in At-Ta'if were not asked to leave At-Ta'if. For those who used to live as Muslims in Yemen were not asked to leave their place, but the Muslims who used to live under persecution in Mecca were asked to leave Mecca to another place, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to be Al-Madinah. But this is very restricted for these specific people, Al-Muhajirin, the people of Mecca. And for time as well, very restricted time, the time that spans from the first year of the Hijrah for 80 years, till Fath Mecca. Just 80 years window. And the people of Muslims in Mecca were asked to leave and to go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina. After the Fath Mecca, which is the 8th year of Hijrah, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced it. And the hadith which was mentioned on Aisha radiallahu anha wardaha, سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم سئل عن الهجرة فقال لا هجرة بعد الفتح ولكن جهاد ونية وإذا استنفرتم فانفروا. And this hadith was narrated by Muslim. Aisha radiallahu anha ardaha said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked about the hijrah that took place from Mecca to Medina. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is no, can it continue? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is no hijrah, compulsory hijrah for people in Mecca. After the Fath of Mecca, the conquest and opening of Mecca, it's done, it's gone. And whoever is a Muslim in Mecca, after Fath Mecca, Mecca became a place for a Muslim place. So there is no hijrah is needed after that. But, and the word but actually opened doors for us, because the very specific time is gone, it's closed, and the very specific people are gone as well, and no other are asked to join them. But how about those who lived after Fath Mecca, and those till Yawm al-Qiyamah like us, and those who lived miles and miles and miles away, thousands of miles away from Mecca like us? Is it gone? Do we have any portion, any chance, any contribution in that? Can we continue the same spirit that the people, the Muslims of Mecca, even the Muslims in Medina, by the way, they are not Muhajirin, they are Ansar. But so even at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is a very restricted time, the people of Medina were not asked; they are not considered Muhajirin. So how about us and them, and everyone who will come till Yawm al-Qiyamah? Can we share the people of Mecca at this 8 years the ajr of hijrah? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam opened the door in this hadith for everyone till Yawm al-Qiyamah. ولكن جهاد ونية وإذا استنفرتم فانفروا. But there is no hijrah, but still the jihad, with all kinds of jihad that is needed, jihad by self, by money, by your tongue, by all kinds, jihad of your nafs, all kinds or forms of jihad which is known in Islam still exists, will exist till Yawm al-Qiyamah. So every one of you till Yawm al-Qiyamah can contribute, can participate in the meaning of hijrah, can practice the meaning of hijrah with this one. وَنِيَّةٌ, set up the good niyyah for everything you do, everything 24/7. So long as you are alive, setting the niyyah, and this will not end till Yawm al-Qiyamah. وَإِذَا اسْتُنْفِرْتُمْ فَانْفِرُوا. And if you are asked to set out for the benefit, for the interest of Islam, for the support of Islam, regardless what is the way for setting out, istinfar. فَانْفِرُوا, it's an order. You have to set out. You have to contribute. You have to have a share. If you observe these three, which the hadith mentioned, you can consider yourself on the footsteps of the Muhajirin of Mecca. And this is why the ulama mentioned that there are two kinds of hijrah. One of them is gone, which we covered. Just for 8 years window, for a specific people Muslim Mecca, it's gone. And no one will be able to join them. But there is another kind which is opening the doors for us. The hijrah, which continues till Yawm al-Qiyamah, will continue to exist till Yawm al-Qiyamah with these three. Jihadun wa niyyatun wa istinfar. And contribution to live with the mindset of hijrah. Mindset of independence and freedom from the shackles of the society, whether it is shackles of the intellectuals and the thoughts and the aqidah al-fasida, the incorrect aqidah, the shackles of the social norms of the society you live in, which is not in sync with Islam. You need to make hijrah, abandon, to desert it. You will be considered as a muhajir if you will tahjur in Arabic mean desert, leave, abandon. Hajara, abandoned. So it happened that the people of Muslims of Mecca during these 8 years, they physically abandoned Mecca and they went to Al-Madinah. But you know what? Even before that, actually they lived 13 years in Mecca in another status, in another mindset of hijrah. It was not physical hijrah. which they did after that by moving their bodies from Mecca and Medina. They lived the emotional hijrah, the mental hijrah, by abandoning the ibadah of their people of Mecca. Whoever accepted Islam, and even if he or she used to worship the idols, they hajaru ibadat al-asnam. They abandoned so they made hijrah, which is a mental hijrah, emotional hijrah, which we have to do, which we can do. Abandoning any bad beliefs unaccepted by Islam. It is open till Yawm al-Qiyamah, because unfortunately, till Yawm al-Qiyamah, you will find the fight between good and bad, and the halal and the haram, and the iman and the kufr. You will find this battle, and we live everyone lives everywhere in the world in societies which have all of these contradictions. So you need to live, we need to live to live the mindset of the hijrah by abandoning the bad beliefs, incorrect beliefs. So this is one area of hijrah that the people of Mecca lived it for 13 years before they migrated physically with their bodies to Medina, and abandoning the immoral behaviors and of their people, killing or burying their daughters alive. It was known in Mecca, and some people even from the great Sahaba practiced it. And Umar radiallahu anhu, after he accepted Islam, whenever he remembers what he did, he used to cry out of what he did. But once whoever accepted Islam abandoned these immoral and bad social behavior, they lived it for 13 years. And among the Sahaba who became Sahaba after that in Mecca, he used to drink and to get intoxicated. When they accepted Islam, they abandoned the haram. They abandoned these social immoral behaviors, which we need to abandon as well, to live the mental hijrah and the freedom from the shackles of the bad beliefs of society around us, the shackles of the social norms around us. Abandoned it. So you are muhajir when you live in your year and city here in Dallas in 2024, abandoning the bad beliefs, which is not acceptable. You are muhajir when you live with this mindset and with this niyyah. I'm not doing that because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, because it's not acceptable in Islam, so I do abandon it. So you are muhajir emotionally, intellectually, and abandoning the bad behavior, bad norms, bad customs around us, whether from some Muslims might be doing it or the society around us. So you are muhajir because you freed yourself from the shackles of the norms of the society. And we have, every while we have a wave. And in the last few years, the wave of LGBT, abandoning all of these waves and being part of the minority, part of the سيعود الإسلام غريبا كما جاء غريبا فطوبى للغرباء من أمتي, as the hadith mentioned. And this is a prophecy from him sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Islam will come back. Now you are the generation of the Sahaba around me, and everything is predominantly following the spirit of Islam. But you know what? After years, Islam will be strange again. As it was strange, as it started strange in Mecca. فَطُوبَى الْغُرَبَاءِ مِنْ أُمَّتِي. And give the glad tidings for those who live as strangers, emotionally, mentally, even if they mingle and interact with their people physically, but that mentally they are taking a step away from the practices and the beliefs, and they freed themselves from the shackles of the society. I don't care how many people around me are sharing me with the same beliefs. Even a few people in the city I am in, while thousands, if even millions, are not sharing us in this divine belief, that's okay. We do abandon these unbecoming beliefs. So you are muhajir intellectually by abandoning that, like what the Sahaba did in Mecca before the physical hijrah, abandoning all of that. And they built their community in Mecca, the small one, which was under persecution, because they lived the mental and emotional hijrah before making the physical hijrah. It's up until Yawm al-Qiyamah. So it is our chance to partake, to share the Sahaba of Mecca and the Hijrah they did by living it. And that's why actually, which is a glad tide, it's a good news for us. We have a contribution to Hijrah. We can live the Hijrah. And our offsprings can live it so long as they will continue to be Muslims. Till Yawm al-Qiyamah, every generation till Yawm al-Qiyamah can have a contribution, and the share can join the caravan, the blessed caravan of the people of Mecca, the Muhajirin of Mecca, in the 8 years window they did it. But millions, if not billions, of people can join this limited caravan by joining the mental hijrah and the emotional hijrah as they did in Mecca, then the physical, which they did after the hijrah till Fath Mecca. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the hadith which was narrated by Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anhu, which is muttafaqun alayhi, narrated in Bukhari and Muslim, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: المسلم من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده والمهاجر من هجر ما نهى الله عنه. Definition. He gave a definition for who is a Muslim, who is a muhajir. المسلم من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده. The true Muslim, the true definition of the Muslim actually is not just the one who is praying 5 times a day or fasting. It's needed, but it's not enough to do your ritualistic ibadat. But he defined al-Muslim. The Muslim is the one from whose hand and tongue Muslims are safe. It's a reaction and interaction, behavior, and so watch how you deal with people, and because this will define you as a Muslim. And he sallallahu in the second one, which is our focus today, وَالْمُهَاجِرُ مَنْ هَجَرَ مَا نَهَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. And the immigrant, the migrant, the muhajir is not the one who migrated in 8 years from Mecca to Medina from the people of Mecca. No, this is done. This is gone. But the other one will continue till Yawm al-Qiyamah, who is abandoned whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade. It's open door for everyone to Yawm al-Qiyamah. So if I would like to be muhajir, live with this spirit, free yourself from the shackles of the al-haram which is around us, be keen in investigating all the transactions, whether it is financial transactions, social transactions, and whatever transactions, what's halal, what's haram, and abandon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade, which means I need to invest in knowledge, to know. So because if I will not know this is haram, I might do it. And is there any excuse for me that I'm not aware this haram? I cannot say that there is an excuse, because I should have taught myself or sought the knowledge to know what's halal, what's haram. So knowledge and actions. وَالْمُهَاجِرُ مَنْ هَجَرَ مَا نَهَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. So if we would like to be muhajirun, joining the blessed company of the people of Mecca during these 8 years, this is first one. Abandon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade you from doing. 24/7, look for what you do, what you say, what you harbor, even from the thoughts which you can lead to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not set us accountable for what we harbor from the thought, but when we leave the bad thoughts accumulating, and it will lead to actions which will be punishable. So وَالْمُهَاجِرُ مَنْ هَجَرَ مَا نَهَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. This is one. So we mentioned in the previous hadith 3 actions that can take you to the status of hijrah. Jihadun wa niyyatun wa idha istunfirtum fanfiru. If you are asked to set out for help. If the community is asking you to set out for help, for donation, you need to contribute with the best of your ability. For time, you need to give from the best of your ability. From set out. Istanfiru fanfiru wa idha istunfirtum fanfiru. And this is the 4th one from this hadith of the Abdullah ibn Amr. Hajara ma naha Allahu anhu. So to abandon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade. The 5th one, which was mentioned in the hadith of Ma'qal ibn Yasar radiallahu anhu arda, which was narrated in Sahih ibn Majah. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: عبادة في الحرج كهجرة إلي. عبادة في الحرج كهجرة إلي. So observing your rituals and setting you up correctly in your connection with Allah, ibadah, with the big spectrum of the meaning of ibadah, setting your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly at the time which is a tough time. Al-harj is the meaning of bloodshed, but you can add to the harj, the bloodshed, every unbecoming situation, immoral situation could be harj, despite the fact that the word harj itself in Arabic meaning killings, but add to it every immoral, unbecoming situations we live in. That كهجرة إلي, as if the one who is setting himself and his relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being and observing his ibadat correctly and setting his mind correctly at this time of bad influence, bad society, bad circumstances around, is exactly like the one who migrated to me, exactly like the one who migrated from Mecca to Al-Madinah to me. Allahu Akbar. Those who migrated to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina will be equal to those who set themselves upright at the bad times. We live in it. We live this time. So this is the fifth tool to be muhajir. Again, what are these five? Jihadun, niyatun, wa idha istunfirtum fanfiru. The fourth one, man hajara ma'naha Allah, to abandon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade. The fifth one in this hadith, ibadatun fil harji. Set yourself upright. Don't be like those who will affected by the society around them. And whatever the society put pressure on them, they will lean towards the pressure. And they will be subject to the pressure of the society. No. And this is a warning that he sallallahu alayhi, from this situation, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam warned us against hadith Hudayfa radiallahu anhu arda, when he says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لا تكونوا إمعة لا تكونوا إمعة تقولون إن أحسن الناس أحسننا وإن ظلمنا ولكن وطنوا أنفسكم إن أحسن الناس أن تحسنوا وإن أساءوا فلا تظلموا. You should not be those who has no will, no mind. Don't be like among the people who has no will from their own self, willness, heedless. People are driving them, the society is driving them, and the circumstances are driving them. Don't be like those. Who will say, if people around us will deal good with us, we'll deal good with them. And if they will be unjust to us, we'll be unjust to them. But set yourself correctly that if they will do good, you will do good. And if they will deal unjustly, don't be unjust. So don't be affected by, influenced by the society around you. It's not easy. Yes, it's not easy. But وَالْمُهَاجِرُ مَنْ هَجَرَ مَا نَهَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُ عِبَادَةٌ فِي الْحَرْجِ. These are two of the five tools that we mentioned about being a muhajir. It's worth it. It's worth it to observe what I say, what I do, what I believe in, what I espouse to, what I teach my children, what I set myself for, how I deal with my finances, how I deal with my society, and what customs and the behaviors that I have. And it's worth it because it will take me in the great company of the Sahaba who made the hijrah from Mecca to Al-Madinah. It's a great to find a window that will take us to join the blessed company, which is the best generation that came ever to mankind after the generation of the Sahaba, the generation of the prophets and the messengers, which is a generation of the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as the ulama said, the best of them are muhajirin, then al-ansar. And from the muhajirin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose 10 mubashirin and. So to find a window that will take us to join their company, it's wallahi worth it investment. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروا. إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه صلى الله عليه وسلم. During the time of the Hijrah, some of the Sahaba stood out during their Hijrah. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave them special recognition. And if we will follow their footsteps, this can as well help us to be in this prestigious position. ربح البيع أبا يحيى صهيب رضي الله عنه وارضاه. صهيب الرومي, he left everything he had in Mecca in exchange of what? Leaving Mecca, for the people of Mecca to leave him to migrate. And he migrated after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and on his way leaving Mecca, and he was not Arabian, he was not Arab, he's a Roman, but actually he lived in Mecca and he collected the wealth. He was a successful businessman and he collected the wealth. And the people of Mecca threatened him. And they told him, do you think you will be able to leave with all the money that you collected from among us? If you'd like to leave, you need to leave every dirham, dinar you collected here, and will allow you to leave physically. And he left everything. And before leaving the money, he left the selfishness. حب النفس, حب المال. زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير and the ayah in Surah Al Imran. He was able actually to control all of that and all of these adornments. He gave all of that and he gave them all the money he had, and he migrated by himself. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw him and knew sallallahu alaihi wasallam what Suhaib did, he received him in Medina, said ربح البيع أبا يحيى, ربح البيع صهيب. Your bargain with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is successful. What is the deal? That you left your money for you to make the hijrah. This is the deal, the successful deal. يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم, in Surah As-Saff, which is now, it happened for Suhaib, but it is still available for every one of us, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah As-Saff. All you who believe, it's not just the people, the people of Mecca or the people of Ansar. Suhaib, يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم. Should I make a business with you? تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين. It's a deal that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not dead is proposing to every one of us. If you'd like to be like Suhaib, ربح البيع أبا يحيى, and if you'd like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inshallah, I hope that every one of us believe that يوم القيامة Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to receive you on the hawd, ربح البيع, whatever your kunya is, أبا whatever, because of the deal, that the business that you did with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم, do it. No one is asking you to give up all your money or your wealth, but give up your selfishness. الأنانية وحب النفس وحب المال. Give it up when it comes to a situation that you have to make a decision between either or. If you are in this situation between your business and some elements of your business has haram items. If you have a business and you know that this business has some haram items, ربح البيع أبا صهيب, leave it for Allah. والمهاجر من هاجر ونهى الله عنه. Purify your income from any haram, whether business or professional, whatever, any, and set yourself up. عبادة في الهرج كهجرة إلي. Free yourself mentally, emotionally from the shackles, which is the meaning of استقلال, freedom from the shackles of the society, norms of the society, the beliefs of society. But my last word that I will leave you with that. Freedom does not mean isolation. We will never isolate ourselves from the society, but we will free our mind, our mind, our emotions from the constraints of the society, which are haram. But We are still part of the society, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was part of the people of Mecca for 13 years. For 13 years before the Hijrah, he never isolated himself from his people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he used to have a social interactions with them, and to have, and even to stand for justice in Mecca itself. So it is freedom, not isolation. My talk today is not a call for isolating ourselves from the society we live in, because the society has different beliefs, because the society might have different norms and morals, because it is not. It is a freedom to free ourselves and our mind from that, but to deal with society as a reformer, as an agent for change. الامر بالمعروف والنهي عن الامر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. It's part of the big picture of the Muslim who is righteous, salih, and reformer, muslih. And these two in our mind will help us being a salih and muslih, being a part of reform in the society we live in. This will keep us till the last moment of our life, till the last breath will leave our throat, with the mindset of hijrah in our mind, while as well doing our and taking care of our duty towards our people and towards our deen. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا، آت نفوسنا تقواها، زكها يا ربنا أنت خير من زكاها. اللهم افتح لنا مفاتيح الخير كلها. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل، ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل. اللهم اختم لنا أعمالنا بالقبول، واختم لنا أعمارنا بالصالحات، واختم لنا يوم القيامة بالفردوس في أعلى الجنات. اللهم اجمعنا بنبينا وصحابة نبينا وأحباب نبينا في الفردوس الأعلى مع آبائنا وأمهاتنا وأزواجنا وذرياتنا ومشايخنا ومربينا يا رب العالمين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
استقيموا، تراصوا واستووا، ساووا الصف وسدوا الفرج. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الرحمن الرحيم، مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم، حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. فإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو، عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. للفقراء المهاجرين الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم وأموالهم يبتغون فضلا من الله ورضوانا وينصرون الله ورسوله أولئك هم الصادقون والذين تبوأوا الدار والإيمان من قبلهم يحبون من هاجر إليهم ولا يجدون حاجة في صدورهم والذين تبوأوا الدار والإيمان من قبلهم يحبون من هاجر إليهم ولا يجدون حاجة في صدورهم ويؤثرون على أنفسهم ولو كان بهم خصاصة ومن يوق شح نفسه فأولئك هم المفلحون والذين جاءوا من بعدهم يقولون ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. تقبل الله منكم جميعا. Just a few announcements that we have. Inshallah, we'll be starting the after school Hifz program. It's going to start inshallah on August 12th. And we have Sunday school. It will inshallah start on August 20th. And we have the Arabic Quran program. It's the understanding of the Quran. It will help the kids, inshallah, understand the Quran and learn more Arabic. And this one is going to be in the morning. And there's a few requirements, and you can check it out, inshallah, on the table outside. We also have a lecture tonight, and it will be by Dr. Muhammad Ali. It will be about Bismillah. It will be about the Hadith and Sunnah, inshallah. Jazakum Allah khair.